Every single human being has an inner child. This inner child is the tendency in behavior, the tendency to express more emotions. Or at least that's how I'm going to refer to it, as the inner child. Now, some of us repress this inner child, other people don't, and they maybe obey it. But I don't necessarily mean completely obeying it. I mean obeying it in the healthy way, not completely disregarding the tendencies that this inner child promotes to us. Because for some people, and especially if you've been struggling with social anxiety and you think you are lacking on this perspective of the social life, you are likely to have sought out advice online. And having done that, you encounter the top 5 ways of seeming cool, charismatic, and all this stuff. And all that does is making you more inauthentic, more stiff and all stifled, less expressive, listening to that tendency, that authentic tendency of the inner child, less and less. And that makes you less of a human. Now, for the people that don't experience this, for the people that are able to obey their inner child in a healthy way, how does life look like for them? They're just relaxed. They don't have any tactics, they don't have any rules that they obey. If they are excited, they will show excitement. Their voice will raise, not thinking that maybe that's not cool or something. Their face will brighten up. They're not just grumpy and serious all the time, because that's what mature people do. If they are angry, they will express that anger, hopefully not breaking anything, because again, that's not necessarily a healthy reaction. Why do you have all these emotions? We don't have these emotions in order to ignore them completely and just play by the rules every single time. But we don't have the emotions, like they don't have to be obeyed either, at least not blindly. They are always to be considered, and then the proper action has to be taken anyway. So sometimes you will end up disregarding your emotions, other times you will end up obeying them. Having this lifestyle, this autopilot approach of completely ignoring and disregarding your emotions and just playing by the rules so that you seem cooler than you are or higher value than you are, that's no way of living. And when you do that, as I said, it's so interesting. You can just spot this in some people, that they are so stiff, they're so afraid to move. Like when two people are interacting, you are likely to make random movements. You won't just stay all stiff all the time. You will move around, maybe you will look somewhere randomly. You will move from one leg to the other, you might want to shake your arms a bit or something like that. The people that obey all these rules of like seeming charismatic and confident and scary and whatnot, they are so stiff. Just obeying these rules of chest up, proud body language, no facial expressions because you are a grown-up male, so you don't need to do that. And they're just frozen like that. They're just a robot. How is that a way to enjoy life, to bond with people, to have nice interactions? There's no way, because people perceive you as being a robot. Like all these expressions that people make, that sometimes might seem a bit childish, they are needed in social interactions. Because we need to be able to read the other person. If we are unable to read, if we are just talking to a robot that's always the same, how are we supposed to bond with them? How are we supposed to understand how that person feels? Because you know this already probably. Most communication is pre-verbal communication. That is to say, it's not conducted through words necessarily, but through body language, through the inflection of your voice. Nothing to do with words. So if you're just a robot that obeys the tactics of, okay, do this and you will get that. So do this set of like body language characteristics that are supposed to make you look confident, and then people will perceive you as confident, which by the way doesn't work. You do that, and then people feel like they are talking to a robot. So learn to take back into account, to take back into consideration those basic emotions that you're feeling and start expressing them more. Like, what can happen really? People will notice that you are more expressive, people will notice a change, but that's not something to be ashamed of, because all the people that are doing well in life from this perspective are expressing their emotions socially, are taking into account that primal instinct of the inner child. And even the most serious and mature persons do this. Again, that doesn't mean acting childish, by no means. What it means is expressing their emotions, not being all stiff. I really hope this helped you. Leave your masks behind. Leave your set of rules behind and just be more expressive. Nothing wrong will happen. Trust me.